Hello everyone. Welcome back to Smart Talk English. I'm Natasha, and I'm really excited to be with you today. If you're someone who's been studying English for a while, but still finds yourself translating every word in your head before speaking, then this video is for you. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most important and powerful steps in becoming fluent in English. Learning how to think in English and stop translating in your head. This one shift can transform your English skills and take you from hesitant, slow speech to smooth, natural conversations. The great news is, it's something you can start practicing today. And by the end of this video, you will not only understand why thinking in English is so important, but also how to make it a daily habit with simple and practical exercises. When you think in your native language and try to translate word by word into English, your brain slows down. That's why many English learners feel nervous, forget vocabulary, or speak with long pauses. Translation is like carrying a heavy bag on your back. It slows you down. It makes you tired. And honestly, it's not needed. Instead, imagine yourself walking lightly with confidence, speaking directly in English. That's what we're aiming for today. The first thing to understand is, thinking in English is a skill, just like learning to ride a bicycle or playing a musical instrument. It takes time and practice, but the more you do it, the better and faster you'll become. Let's begin with your surroundings. One of the easiest ways to start thinking in English is to describe what you see around you in English. You don't need to speak aloud. Just use your inner voice. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you can say to yourself, I am getting out of bed. I am walking to the bathroom. I am brushing my teeth. These are simple present continuous sentences that match your actions. You are not trying to make perfect grammar. You are training your brain to link English words with real-life experiences. Now let's try a short practice together. Imagine you are in the kitchen. You're about to make a cup of tea. Instead of thinking in your native language, say in your mind, I take the kettle. I fill it with water. I turn it on. I wait. I choose my favorite mug. I open the cupboard. I take a tea bag. Try to see the action and say it in English. Even if the words are very simple, that's okay. This is the first level of thinking in English, matching thoughts to daily actions. If you do this every day, just for a few minutes, it becomes natural. Another good way to start thinking in English is to name things around you. When you are sitting on your bed, look around and say in your head, this is my pillow. This is a blanket. I have 2 books on the table. The window is open. You are training your mind to recognize the English word instantly, without needing to translate. Over time, your brain begins to accept English as a normal language, not something foreign. Now let's move to the second practice level, making choices in English. When you are out shopping or at a restaurant, try thinking in English about your decisions. For example, you can say in your mind, should I buy the red shirt or the blue one? The red one is cheaper, but I like the blue one more. I think I'll take the blue shirt. This is real-life thinking. And when you do it in English, you are training your brain to handle English in practical situations. Let's do a short practice again. Imagine you are in a grocery store. You need to buy some fruit and vegetables. Say to yourself, I need bananas, apples, and oranges. These bananas are ripe. The apples look fresh. I don't need grapes today. I will get some tomatoes too. These are a bit expensive. Maybe I'll take fewer. You are making simple, useful sentences that are exactly like your real thoughts. This kind of mental conversation is a big step toward fluency. You might be wondering, what about when I don't know a word? That's a great question. When you can't remember a word, don't stop. And don't switch to your native language. Try to describe the word in English, or use simple words around it. For example, if you don't remember the word microwave, you can say, the machine that makes food hot quickly. This keeps your thinking in English. And with time, you'll remember the correct word. Another powerful technique to stop translating in your head is to use English definitions. Try using an English dictionary instead of a bilingual one. When you look up a word, read its meaning in English. This helps your brain make direct connections between English words and their meanings, without the extra step of translation. Let me give you a small example. If you look up the word generous, the English definition might be someone who gives more than expected or needed. This explanation is also in English, and it helps you understand the word directly. The more you do this, the easier it becomes to build your vocabulary and stop relying on your first language. Let's try a quick practice exercise using English definitions. I'll give you a few words and describe them in English. You can try to guess the word in your mind. Ready? This is something you wear on your wrist to tell the time. It can be digital or analog. What is it? Yes, it's a watch. Here's another one. It's something you open when it rains. It keeps you dry. What is it? That's right. It's an umbrella. By doing this kind of guessing practice, your brain learns to connect ideas and descriptions in English, which strengthens your ability to think in English naturally. Now, let's talk about habits. Developing the habit of thinking in English doesn't require hours each day. Just 5 to 10 minutes of focused practice can give you amazing results. You can create different thinking zones in your day. For example, the first 5 minutes after waking up can be your English thinking time. As you get dressed or have breakfast, use that time to describe your actions or plan your day in English. You can say, today I have to go to the bank. I also need to finish some work. I might meet a friend for lunch. These are not complicated sentences, but they are real thoughts that help build fluency. Another great moment to practice is during travel or waiting time. When you are on a bus or in a car, look around and describe what you see. That man is wearing a black jacket. There is a shop on the corner. The weather looks cloudy today. You are simply describing your environment. And, because it's in your head, you can do it anywhere, anytime. Let's do a practice right now. Imagine you are walking down a street in the evening. Say in your mind, the sky is getting dark. Streetlights are turning on. A child is riding a bicycle. I can hear a dog barking. I see a small cafe on the corner. People are sitting inside and talking. This is everyday English. These are normal thoughts. But when you practice thinking them in English, your brain gets stronger and faster. Thinking in English also means building confidence in using simple English without feeling pressure to be perfect. Many learners hesitate to think in English because they're afraid of making mistakes. But thinking doesn't need to be perfect. When you think in your native language, do you worry about grammar or sentence structure? No. You just think. That's how it should be in English too. Don't worry about perfect grammar in your thoughts. The goal is to train your brain to stay in English, not to be a grammar checker. Let's explore another powerful technique, creating inner conversations. This means having small dialogues with yourself in English. Imagine that you are talking to someone, maybe a friend, or even your future self. You can ask and answer questions in your head. This not only helps you practice vocabulary, but also makes your thoughts more flexible in English. Let's try it together. Imagine you just came home after a busy day. Start the conversation in your mind. How was your day? Then answer, it was okay. I was very busy at work. I had 2 meetings and a lot of emails. Then ask, did you eat lunch? Answer, yes. I had a sandwich and some juice. but I'm still a little hungry. This type of simple, personal conversation can be practiced anywhere. The more you practice like this, the more natural English becomes in your thinking process. Another useful approach is visualizing short stories. Create simple imaginary situations in your head and walk through them in English. For example, picture yourself going to a coffee shop. Visualize walking in, ordering your favorite drink, sitting down, and reading a book. As you do this, describe everything in English in your mind. I walk into the cafe. It smells like fresh coffee. I go to the counter and say, "1 cappuccino, please." I pay the cashier. I find a quiet table in the corner. I open my book and start reading. You are not just learning words. You are connecting language to emotions and images, which makes thinking in English more powerful. Now, let's practice this together. Close your eyes and imagine this. You're at the airport. You have your suitcase and passport. You're walking toward the check-in counter. Say in your mind, "I need to find my gate." The airport is crowded. I check my ticket. I go to security. I take off my shoes and put my bag on the belt. The officer says, "Thank you, have a nice flight." These imaginary story scenes help you think in full sentences and also help you prepare for real-life conversations in English. Another easy way to think in English is by reacting to things you see or read. When you watch a video or read a short article in English, pause and ask yourself, "What do I think about this?" Try to form your opinion in English. For example, if you read a news headline that says, "Rain expected tomorrow," you might think, "Oh no, I need to carry my umbrella. I wanted to go jogging, but maybe I'll stay home." These are natural, emotional responses. And when you make them in English, they become part of your internal thinking routine. You can also practice reacting to people's expressions or situations. For example, if someone looks sad, think in English, "She looks upset." Maybe she had a bad day. Or if someone smiles, think, "He seems happy. I wonder what made his day better." These reactions are short, but they train your brain to process emotions and observations directly in English. To build more vocabulary and support your thinking, try labeling your environment with English words. You can place sticky notes around your house with words like mirror, refrigerator, switch, blanket, or remote. Every time you look at these objects, your brain sees the English word. After some time, you don't even need the labels. Your mind connects the word naturally to the object. And this helps you stop translating. Reading also helps in developing the habit of thinking in English. Choose simple English books, short stories, or articles. As you read, pause after each paragraph and ask yourself what you understood. Try to summarize the paragraph in your head in English. Even if you only understand part of it, think about that part in English. You don't have to translate every sentence. Focus on the meaning, not the perfect words. This way, your comprehension and thinking skills grow together. Here's a practice you can try every day. At the end of the day, review your day in English in your mind. Think about everything you did, hour by hour. I woke up at 7 a.m. I took a shower and had some coffee. Then I checked my emails. I had a meeting with my team. We discussed our new project. In the afternoon, I went to the supermarket. I bought milk, bread, and some vegetables. I came home and watched a movie. Now I'm going to sleep. This exercise helps you build fluency and connects English to your daily memory. Speaking of memory, memory plays a big role in learning to think in a new language. The more you practice linking English to your real-life actions, the easier it is to remember words and expressions. Instead of learning words from lists, try to use them in your thoughts. If you learn the word delicious, don't just memorize it. Think, "This cake is delicious." My dinner last night was delicious. My favorite fruit is delicious. This way, the word becomes a part of your daily thinking, and you won't forget it. Another great way to help your mind stay in English is by listening to English audio every day. You can listen to simple podcasts, conversations, or even this video again. The more English you hear, the more your brain accepts the rhythm and structure of the language. And when you hear phrases again and again, your brain starts to repeat them automatically, without translation. Let's try another practice using a simple routine. Imagine it's morning, and you are getting ready for your day. Think, I open my eyes. The alarm is ringing. I stretch my arms. I get out of bed. I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I pick my clothes. I get dressed. I go to the kitchen. I boil water. I make tea. I sit at the table and drink slowly. This is a very natural routine. And using English for it every day is one of the fastest ways to train your brain to think in English. In the beginning, you may find that it takes effort to form thoughts in English. That's completely normal. But don't give up. Just like going to the gym builds muscles over time. Thinking in English strengthens your language skills, day by day. The first week may feel hard. The second week gets easier. And by the third or fourth week, you'll notice that many thoughts come naturally in English without even trying. One last practice you can do is to talk to yourself out loud for a few minutes every day. Choose a time when you're alone. And describe what you're doing or what you're planning. For example, today I'm going to visit my friend. We will have coffee together. Then I need to go to the bank. I hope there's not a long line. In the evening, I'll cook pasta and watch a movie. You're not just speaking. You're thinking out loud. This is one of the best ways to bring your thinking and speaking together. As you keep practicing all these techniques, you'll notice your inner voice becoming more and more comfortable with English. That voice that used to speak in your native language and then translate will start using English naturally. And this is a huge milestone. Once you reach this point, English becomes not just a language you study, it becomes a language you live. And that's the key difference between learners who stay stuck at an intermediate level and those who reach real fluency. You're no longer just learning English. You're using English as part of your everyday life. Now let's explore a few more practice exercises that are perfect for thinking in English. These are based on real-life situations and can be repeated daily to strengthen your inner English voice. Let's start with a simple question-answer game you can play with yourself. You ask the question and then immediately answer it in your mind in English. For example, ask yourself, what do I want to eat for dinner? Then answer, I think I'll have some rice and vegetables. Maybe I'll cook some chicken too. Then ask, what did I do yesterday? Answer, I stayed home and watched a movie. I also cleaned my room and talked to my friend on the phone. You can do this while you walk, clean your house, or sit quietly. These small mental conversations are powerful because they simulate real interactions. Let's try it again now. I'll ask you a question, and you answer it silently in your head. Ready? What do you like to do on weekends? Think of your answer in English. Now another one. What's your favorite season, and why? Think again. These kinds of inner dialogues are fun, and they help you improve your speed of thinking in English without pressure or judgment. Another practical method is planning in English. Instead of planning your day or week in your native language, start doing it in English. When you wake up, think about what you need to do that day in English. For example, today I need to send an email to my boss. I have to clean the house. I want to read for 30 minutes. I also need to call my cousin and check on her. Then later in the day, reflect in English about how much you accomplished. I did most of my tasks. I forgot to call my cousin, but I'll do that tomorrow. I also read a chapter of my book. This practice not only builds fluency, but also helps with memory and productivity. Another idea that works really well is emotional journaling in English. You don't need to write anything down, just use your mind. At the end of the day, ask yourself how you felt throughout the day. Think in English. I felt happy this morning because the sun was shining. Later, I got a little stressed at work, but now I feel calm again. When you learn to describe your emotions in English, you connect the language with real feelings, which makes the words stick in your memory longer. It also helps you become more expressive in conversations. Here's another practice for your inner voice. Think in English while watching people. Of course, do this politely and quietly. When you're in a public place, like a park or coffee shop, you can think in English. That man is walking his dog. He looks relaxed. The dog is running around happily. There's a woman reading a book on the bench. She's drinking coffee too. This builds observation vocabulary and helps you describe scenes in real time, which is exactly what fluent speakers do. You can also practice predicting what might happen next in a situation. For example, if you're in a restaurant, think in English. I think the waiter will bring the menu soon. I might order a salad today. Maybe they'll offer dessert after the meal. When you make small predictions in English, your brain learns how to handle future tense naturally and quickly. Let's do another short mental story together. Picture yourself arriving at a hotel. Think in English. I walk into the lobby. There is a receptionist at the front desk. I go to the counter and say, "Hi, I have a reservation under the name Natasha." The receptionist checks the computer and gives me a key card. I take the elevator to the third floor. I find my room and open the door. The room looks clean and comfortable. I put down my bag and sit on the bed. Visualizing these moments and narrating them in English helps to form automatic English thoughts linked to real-world experiences. Music and rhythm also help to make English more natural in your thinking. Try to remember simple English songs or phrases and hum them throughout the day. Phrases like, "It's a beautiful day," or "I'm feeling good today," are easy to remember and repeat. These become automatic after a while and pop up in your mind just like phrases in your own language. This is not just about singing. It's about making English phrases stick in your daily thinking routine. Let's now do a spontaneous thinking activity. I'll describe an everyday scene, and you think in English along with me. Imagine it's raining outside. You're standing at the window looking out. Think, the rain is falling heavily. People are walking with umbrellas. Some are running to stay dry. The sky is gray and cloudy. The cars are moving slowly. I feel like staying inside with a warm drink. Maybe I'll make tea. You didn't have to translate anything. You just pictured the scene and described it using simple, natural English. This is the heart of thinking in English: direct, automatic, and connected to real life. And now let's talk about the importance of patience and consistency. Learning to think in English doesn't happen in one day or 1 week. It's like growing a plant. Every day you give it a little water, a little sunlight, and slowly it grows. Your brain works the same way. If you give your brain a little English input and a little English thinking time every day, your fluency will grow steadily and strongly. Even if some days you only have 5 minutes to practice, it still matters. Those 5 minutes count, and they build up over time. There may be moments when you feel tired or discouraged. Maybe you have a bad day, and your thoughts go back to your native language. That's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Just gently bring your focus back to English the next time. The key is not to be perfect. The key is to be regular. If you stay consistent and practice a little bit each day, thinking in English will soon become as natural as breathing. Finally, remember that thinking in English is not about speaking fast or using big words. It's about making English your normal way of processing thoughts. It's about replacing the need to translate with the habit of expressing yourself directly in English. And that's something you can start doing today. Every moment you choose to think in English is a step closer to fluency. Every small effort matters. Every quiet thought in English is building your future confidence. So, wherever you are right now, whether you're walking, resting, working, or traveling, take a moment to check what's happening around you and describe it in English. Notice your feelings, describe them in English. Think of what you did today, replay it in English. Think of what you will do tomorrow, plan it in English. With practice, these small steps become automatic. And when you no longer need to translate, that's when your true English fluency begins. Let's continue by bringing all these techniques together into a simple daily routine you can follow. Think of this routine as a 10-minute English thinking session. You don't need a notebook. You don't need a teacher. You only need your mind. First, take 1 minute to describe your surroundings. Look around and say silently in English, "I'm in my room. The window is open. I hear a car outside. There is a cup on my desk. My phone is next to it. The curtains are blue." This gets your brain started with real-world vocabulary and sets the tone. Next, spend 2 minutes thinking about your current feelings and emotions. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Then answer in English. I feel calm. I feel a little tired. I'm happy that I finished my work. I'm thinking about what to eat for dinner. Don't try to use complicated grammar. Just express yourself like you would to a friend. The goal is to speak to yourself kindly. In English, using words that feel natural. Then, take 3 minutes to mentally review your day so far. Think about what you've done and what you're going to do. This morning, I woke up at 7. I made breakfast and had some tea. I worked on my laptop for 3 hours. Then I talked to my sister. Later, I want to watch a show or read a book. This helps you practice past and future tense at the same time and connects English directly to your memory and life. For the next 2 minutes, create a short imaginary story. Make it something fun and personal. For example, I'm walking on a beach. The sun is shining. I feel the sand under my feet. I see some birds flying in the sky. I sit under a tree and read a book. A friendly dog runs by and I smile. Visualization and imagination in English help strengthen your ability to use the language even in abstract or emotional situations. Then for the last 2 minutes, ask and answer questions to yourself. What do I want to learn tomorrow? I want to practice some new vocabulary. What did I enjoy about today? I liked the quiet walk in the evening. These are self-reflective questions, and they help you make English part of your deeper thoughts, not just external conversation. When you can reflect in English, you've already reached a new level of fluency. You can also add to this routine by including English in your phone habits. Try switching your phone's language to English. It might feel strange at first, but it's a powerful trick to force your brain to process instructions and icons in English. Every time you open your messages or settings, you'll be reading small English words, and they will start becoming familiar. It's one of the easiest passive ways to keep English around you all the time. Another passive trick is using sticky note reminders. Write small English reminders like, "Think in English now," or "Describe your action in English," and place them near your mirror, fridge, or on your desk. These notes will remind your brain throughout the day to come back to English thinking. Even just seeing the word English multiple times per day will activate that mental switch you need. Let's practice another mental storytelling example. Imagine you are at a bookstore. Think in English. I walk into the bookstore. It smells like paper and coffee. There are many shelves with books. I go to the fiction section. I pick up a book and read the back cover. It sounds interesting. I carry it to the counter. The cashier smiles and says, "Would you like a bag?" I say, "No, thank you." I walk out holding my new book. This kind of scene is quiet, calm, and helps you build vocabulary related to places and interactions. Remember, fluency doesn't come only from speaking fast or knowing difficult words. It comes from being comfortable in English, comfortable enough to think, plan, imagine, react, and remember in English, without needing to stop or translate. When English becomes the language of your private thoughts, you've reached a very personal and powerful fluency. And the best thing is, this fluency is built not in the classroom, but in your everyday moments. Another practice that helps long-term memory is dreaming in English. You can't control when it happens, but if you fill your day with English thinking, reading, and listening, eventually your dreams may start to use English. And that's a sign your subconscious is accepting English as a regular part of your life. If this hasn't happened yet, don't worry. Just keep practicing. And one day it will. Try this next exercise before you go to sleep. Close your eyes and replay your entire day in English. Even if you forget a few words or don't know how to describe something, don't switch to your native language. Just try your best. Say, "I woke up early. I made breakfast. I had eggs and toast. I read the news. I went for a walk. The weather was warm. I saw some birds and trees. I came back home. I studied English for 20 minutes. I watched a short video. I felt proud of myself." This kind of end-of-day reflection helps connect English to your personal life experiences and helps your brain process English in a relaxed way. You can also play mental vocabulary games throughout the day. Choose a letter like S and try to think of 5 objects you see around you that start with that letter. Spoon, sofa, sock, shirt, shoes. Do this in English only. If you can't find 5, that's okay. You're still using your brain creatively and actively in English. And that's what matters. You're training your brain to access words faster. Let's try one more scenario. Imagine you're going to a friend's house for dinner. Think, "I'm getting ready. I choose a nice shirt. I put on my shoes. I leave the house and take the bus. When I arrive, I ring the doorbell. My friend opens the door and says, 'Come in. The house smells good. Dinner is ready.' We sit at the table and talk while eating." This scene helps you use conversational English, action verbs, and social vocabulary, all important parts of fluency. So as you move forward, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Thinking in English is not about knowing everything. It's about staying in English, even when you don't know all the words. It's about staying curious. When you notice a new word, don't just translate it. Explore it. Use it in your mind. Build a small story around it. Make it part of your thoughts. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Thinking in English can be fun. It can be your private world, your secret skill, your daily mental exercise. It doesn't require technology or textbooks, just your imagination and your willingness to grow. Whether you're walking, cooking, relaxing, or just lying in bed, English is always available to you as a tool for expression, reflection, and personal connection. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video helped you understand how powerful and achievable it is to start thinking in English. If you keep practicing the exercises we explored, describing your surroundings, replaying your day, imagining small stories, planning in English, and talking to yourself. You will see a real transformation in your fluency. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and comment below. Tell us about your favorite way to practice thinking in English, or ask any questions you have. We read every comment. Don't forget to subscribe to Smart Talk English and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. For more videos that help you improve your English through daily habits, natural conversation, and real-life examples, new videos are posted every day to support your journey. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, the more you think in English, the more fluent you become. I'm Natasha, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy thinking!